Over the last couple days, I've been tinkering around with learning Fusion 360, and I knew this was inevitable. I knew over time I would just have to start designing my own stuff. It's been quite the process and quite the journey, just in a week. So as I look at some of these 3D printed blasters out there, in particular this right here, the FlyPoint by GDOP, I'm just really taken back by just the sheer volume of hours and dedication and just everything that goes into something like this. This blaster right here, if making a standard 3D printed blaster isn't enough, GDOP took it to the next level and made this thing actually eject shells, so you have an actual mechanism in here that has blowback, it slides forward, it basically fires the dart, ejects the shell. This thing is amazing. So in today's video, we're gonna take a look at this. Now, full disclaimer, this was sent in from GDOP to Flux Labs for review. So let's jump into today's video. So the first thing to talk about is the operation. So we have a slide lock that basically we pull back the slide, lock that in place. I just ejected a shell. Magazine release right here. And I think it just drops right out, which is really nice. So once you have it open like this is kind of like the ready position, you know, ready to slap in a mag and then hit that slide lock. That thing goes right into place. It's ready to rock. Oh, it's so satisfying. Also, when you're on your last round, after it fires it, it stays open. Oh, it's so cool. So you can eject your magazine, grab another, slide lock, you know, release that, ready to go. So as you can see, the operation of this thing is really nice. I've passed about 10 or 20 magazines through it. I'm still doing more testing with it, but it's as flawless. I've never had any issues at all. This design is really nice. As you can see here, I have a 2S LiPo. So here's a fun story. When I got this thing, sometimes I don't make the best decisions ever. I immediately threw a 3S LiPo in this thing and just went to town. And I shot a lot of the footage with 3S. So I need to put out a disclaimer. These numbers you see, averaging around, I think we're around 110 FPS or so, around 100, jumped up to 120, 110. That was on 3S LiPo. Now I talked to GDOP, he says the inside here is honey badgers. Of course, we have the Flywheel, the world geometry here, so it's a very tight, compact looking blaster. Yeah, it just looks so good having that symmetry. So yeah, the honey badgers, we've been told, can perform on 3S. But what's gonna happen is you're gonna shorten the lifespan of your motors, so there's just a higher chance of burning out. So I tried to stick a 2S LiPo in here. I don't have a small enough one. Actually, I'm gonna order one from out of Darts. Yeah, that's why we're stuck on this 2S here. And we just have a little door right here that basically slides in there and then screws into place. So that's what it looks like. Now we also shot some cups outside. This thing is just a blast to shoot. I'm gonna go ahead and say this is probably one of the most fun blasters to shoot. Like having those shells flying out, you know, working with a, I think it's a seven round capacity magazine that holds the shells. It is just amazing. This blaster really reminds me of something out of like Fallout, or even like Judge Dredd's type of blaster. Very sci-fi looking, it's big, it's large, it's in charge. It's like, I mean, that is a very intimidating pistol. And the fact that it's throwing out shells just adds to the overall theatrics of this thing. Wonderful, so fun. I always find myself smiling or grinning as I'm using it, and it's a blast. Now, as far as its compatibility with darts, in this video, I have been using the Adventure Force short dart, you know, just this little guy, and I haven't had any problems. I can tell that the pusher mech, as it works with this shell, you don't want a really tight dart, so I can see how that would be an issue. I have not had any problems with these darts as of yet, and I do hear there's a a couple newer shell designs, or a new shell design that you can basically have a more loose fit for some of the fatter darts. Because I know the Dart Zone new dart, the red one, is a little bit thicker in diameter than these black ones, so I think it might have problems, so keep that in mind. So let's go over some of the information about this blaster on the site. Now this is on ShellingtonBlasters.com, and this thing looks like it's on sale right now. I don't know how long this sale will last, but it's showing up here for $165, and I'm just gonna kind of run down some of this info. So it says it ejects the shells 4 to 6 feet. That's very accurate. It really throws those things. Darts are propelled by a single stage flywheel system, firing at roughly 90 FPS on a 2S LiPo, which, yeah, I can see that. I did not chronograph. Like I said, my chronograph numbers were off. 3S 110 average, and we could see here 2S average is 90. We have a graphene here, which I'll put a link in the description for this video as to where you can get that battery. Inside the package, you can find a assembled FlyPoint blaster, 1 standard 7-round capacity magazine, 10 LR half-length dart shells, battery not included. And of course, you can purchase additional shells and magazines. If you have a 3D printer, I believe you can print the shells. And maybe possibly the mag, I'm not sure. We got some additional accessories and parts. We have a front Picatinny railing, which you can see up here. There is a spot to put some Picatinny. That would be really nice. It'd be cool to have some nice optics on here. You can get magazine bumpers, which I don't think, is it that? I'm not sure. It is, yeah, it says magazine bumpers, a barrel attachment, which I do not have. Yeah, no barrel attachment on there. Upper frame, forward frame, grip, and battery cover. Okay, so these are all accessories you can purchase. The final thing to talk about is print quality, because the print quality of this blaster, there is an accepted level of tolerance with the print quality. Like, this thing will not operate unless it's printed well enough. And I do see a few artifacts on this blaster. I don't see any under extrusion, that's my big thing for 3D printed blasters, under extrusion, because what that is it's not enough material getting laid down and you create severe weaknesses in the part. So I don't see any of that, which is really good. Like I said though, I see a few artifacts, but overall this print quality is good, which I'll kind of show off the print quality right here. You can see, you know, like I said, you'll have a few little layer shift type artifacts, but nothing major. This is printed in a silky filament, which I personally think silky is beautiful. However, it does add to the structural integrity. I've never found a really good silky filament. This one seems to be strong. Like, I don't have any issues, but who knows? I would really hate to drop this blaster. I don't think it will do well. But so overall, this is very decent print quality, and I'm very happy with the product. I think at the price point of around 160, 170, I think this is definitely a good value. I want to end this video on kind of putting out an idea, a concept for these types of blasters, the shell ejecting blasters, because like I mentioned in my last episode of Flux Friday, I think that these things have a good place in like more of like a game mechanic, you know. I personally am not huge into LARPing, but what I do like to see is like adding in mechanisms into gameplay that are actual physical things. Like, this is a limitation, you know, trying to basically find shells, get this thing, you know, reloaded, you know, scavenge out and find the shells, find the darts, put them in the magazine, have a clip. I think that's all part of a game mechanic that actually helps create an overall sense and experience of, say, like a apocalyptic wasteland or a zombie apocalypse or whatever. I think these type of blasters really help intensify that story and make it have it, you know, every shot that you find, or every shell that you find, every ammunition that you craft in the game, like, you're just like, I don't know, it feels like it's more of like an accomplishment, if you will. And so I would love to see this type of stuff being utilized in, you know, something like, you know, Afterworlds, which is a big apocalyptic LARP in my area, or stuff like, you know, more like HVZ type of stuff where, you know, there's just certain restrictions, you know. I might kind of toy around with some game ideas and maybe draft up my own scenarios. So let me know in the comment section if you would like to If you'd like for me to do more of that, maybe kind of give me some ideas and maybe I could do some community blogs on it. But I think it's something that we really could discuss and kind of look at as a hobby, as far as like, I don't know, shell wars or something, where it's essentially like everything shells, you know, like game types where it's gotta take a shell. Essentially, it's that next level of, you know, game experience. Yeah, I know picking up a bunch of shells is kind of pain, but it just gives, like, it just adds to the game, in my opinion. So in closing, I'm a big fan of this blaster. Can't wait to see what other products GDOP comes up with. I think there's also the lever action or the Winchester or something like that. Man, that thing looks so cool. So we'll see what else comes from GDOP. Obviously, I gotta mention the Spring Thunder because that's like one of the big blasters. You know, I have my Spring Thunder here on the wall. Absolutely love this thing. This hardware kit was sent in from Boomstick Mods, so thank you, Boomstick. But absolutely love that platform. But yeah, other than that, links will be in the description. I want to thank you for watching today's video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, happy foam flinging. I totally took the battery out of this thing. There we go.